After reports on the US pausing aid to Ukraine, President Zelenskyy instructed Ukraine's Minister of Defense, the heads of intelligence agencies and diplomats to contact their counterparts in the US and obtain official information. This was stated in his evening address. Zelenskyy emphasized that Kyiv and Washington deserve a respectful dialogue and a clear position from one another. He noted, however, that Ukraine has been receiving various signals for weeks now, and there has already been a precedent for aid being halted.
We saw the risks. Therefore, our agencies, both military and special services, managed to develop action algorithms for any developments in the situation. This is not 2022 anymore. Our resilience is stronger now. We have the means to defend ourselves. But for us, maintaining normal, partnership-based relations with America is essential to bring in the war to a real end. Ukraine will always be grateful to the US for all the support it has been and is being provided, and which is working to preserve the now rather fragile foundations of security in Europe.
At the same time, US House Speaker Mike Johnson, while answering the question on the US administration's decision to halt military assistance to Ukraine, stated that this is a temporary pause. At the press briefing, he acknowledged that this is related to the events in the White House last week. Johnson also mentioned the agreement related to mineral resources, describing it as a potential solution.
I'm heartened by the development that President Zelenskyy has indicated that he does want to do this deal after all on the mineral rights. I certainly encourage that to happen, and I think it's the best deal that could be offered, and it will assist the Ukrainian people.
On Tuesday night, Trump appeared before Congress on Capitol Hill to deliver his first presidential address in his second term in office. Among other things mentioned, he told Congress that he had received a letter from President Zelenskyy in which the Ukrainian leader expressed willingness to come to the negotiating table over the Russian full-scale war and to sign the minerals deal.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelenskyy of Ukraine. The letter reads, "Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians," he said. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Later, Ukrainian ambassador to the US, Oksana Markarova, clarified that Trump was referring to President Zelensky's social media post rather than any official letter. On his X page, Zelenskyy had written, "Ukraine is ready to work fast and end the war. And the first stages could be the release of prisoners and truce in the sky, ban on missiles, long-range drones, bombs on energy and other civilian infrastructure, and truce in the sea immediately if Russia will do the same." The Ukrainian president also stressed that he is ready to sign the minerals deal anytime and in any convenient format as Ukraine sees it as a step towards solid security guarantees. Russia launched several airstrikes on Odesa and the surrounding area, reportedly using Shahid-type attack drones on Tuesday evening. A 73-year-old man was killed in the attack, while another resident was wounded. Russian troops targeted energy facilities, the seaport and civilian sites, reported the regional prosecutor's office.
The enemy has again attacked the Odesa region, private residential buildings, shops, pharmacies, right in the middle of a residential area.
At least 20 private houses were damaged or destroyed in Odesa suburbs.
It is very scary. I can't describe it with words. It was the scariest night since the war broke out. The skies were ablaze, there were numerous hits. The air defense was firing from all sides.
The Ukrainian president, British Prime Minister and French president are allegedly set to travel to Washington next week. According to the Daily Mail, the three leaders would present Trump with a unified plan on resolving the war. While the trip has not yet been confirmed by London, Kyiv or Washington, a French government spokesperson stated it is under consideration. The possible visit would come as a follow-up to the debates that happened between Zelenskyy, Trump and Vance at the Oval Office last week. In a statement on X on Tuesday, Zelenskyy expressed his regrets regarding how the meeting went in Washington, adding that it was time to make things right. Ireland will allocate €100 million to provide Ukraine with non-lethal military support. This decision was approved by the country's cabinet. According to a statement, 20 million of the allocated funds will support cybersecurity and demining efforts, while another 80 million will go into an EU procurement fund for radars, drone jamming equipment and other defensive measures. Additionally, Ireland's government has approved a bill removing the requirement for UN approval before deploying Irish peacekeeping forces abroad. Members of the European Parliament from the Volt Party are calling for Hungary to be deprived of EU voting rights and for the development of the European Union's own united army, wrote Politico on Wednesday. According to the newspaper, representatives from this pro-European political movement will send country leaders an action plan ahead of the emergency EU leaders summit on March 6. The program, seen by journalists, consists of 9 points. Among them are urging European leaders to strip Hungary of voting rights, to make EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Kaja Kallas a fully fledged EU foreign minister, to develop a common European army, and to open up treaties to include EU defense capabilities and prepare for its enlargement. In February alone, around 100 Ukrainian military units reported the destruction of 9,000 Russian targets using the Army Plus application, with confirmation from the Delta combat system. According to the Minister of Defense, the Report on Defeat initiative, launched in the beginning of 2025, has streamlined the process of digital reporting on combat outcomes. The reports are submitted via smartphone, enabling the military to quickly record and analyze each instance of successful hits, whether infantry or equipment. Each report undergoes verification. Data from all participating units are consolidated into a digital summary of combat operations. This approach allows the Ukrainian General Staff of the Armed Forces to make informed decisions regarding troop deployment and military strategy in real time. The United States has temporarily suspended intelligence sharing and further military aid for Ukraine, the CIA Director John Ratcliffe told Fox Business on Wednesday. Although Ratcliffe made the statement, he expressed his willingness to resume both military and intelligence cooperation with Ukraine.
President Zelenskyy put out a statement saying, "I'm ready for peace, and I want Donald Trump's leadership to bring about that peace." And so I think on the military front and the intelligence front, the pause that allowed that to happen, I think will go away, and I think we'll work shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine as we have.